I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I thought this album was never coming out. I'm glad it did. Kanye is a very interesting person because while I do think he's a terrible human, I'll never be stupid enough to try to discredit what he's done over his 20+ year career. I'm the definition of what you would say is a fan of the old Kanye. Like, I think when Kanye first came out, I think Kanye gave us 5 classic albums in a row. Graduation is my personal favorite, and I think My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy might be the greatest hip hop album ever. And then we get to this Yeezus era, and I would say everything from Yeezus until today, I'm good on. He went from giving us 5 classic albums in a row to 10 years of bad albums. Yeezus for Kanye standards is garbage to me. I still don't like Life of Pablo. I genuinely don't see what people like about that album. And I know I'm skipping over a lot, but Donda did absolutely nothing for me. Ty Dolla Ign is an artist that I'm a fan of, but I kind of only like him when he's featured on somebody else's songs. Like, I don't really like his solo work for some reason. He's kind of like a plate of collard greens. Like, I like collard greens, but I feel like if you eat just a plate of collard greens, you need to be on some sort of FBI watch list. He's extremely talented, and I honestly don't get it, but for some reason, his solo work just doesn't grab my attention the way that his features does. But spoiler, he's the MVP of this album. So when I heard that Kanye and Ty Dolla Ign was doing a collab album, I was like, I'm not pressed to hear this, but I'll give it a shot. And I'm surprised I genuinely like this album. So the album kicks off with track 1 called Stars, and I thought this was a really solid intro to the album. Kanye gets right to the Jewish stuff by saying he keeps a few Jews on the staff, he cashes out. I'm sure that's gonna piss some people off, but I thought this was a really good song. It has no fluff, they get in and out. The song comes in just under 2 minutes. I thought the production on this was so good. Ty Dolla Ign and Kanye, lyrically, they don't do too much, but they do enough. I thought this was a really good tone setter for the album. Track 2, Keys to My Life, once again, another really solid song. I love rap songs when rappers get personal and emotional, and Kanye does that here. Ever since I lost my mom, you was like my foster mom. The first verse seems like he's talking about his ex-wife Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson, but regardless of what you think about Kanye as a human, one thing that's for sure about him, he loves his family. I'm just happy that Kanye decided to put his emotions into his music instead of getting on social media and ranting to TMZ. The next song, Paid, is one that could have been really good if it wasn't for Kanye. I don't know what the hell Kanye was doing, but he sounded terrible. Like, Ty Dolla Ign sounded really good. Ty Dolla Ign sounded great up and down this album. He can make anything sound amazing. I'll listen to Ty Dolla Ign sing about the encyclopedia. I feel like I would have enjoyed this more if it was just Ty Dolla Ign on the record. And then the next song, Talking, comes on, and I'm like, who the hell is this? This shit sounds garbage. And then I felt bad because I realized it was Northwest. My fault. Northwest, I mean, it's whatever. It was cute, I guess, but she ain't got nothing on Adonis. I got Adonis wrapping circles around her. But on a serious note, the second part of this song was great as Ty Dolla Ign continues to kill it. He's talking about stressing about seeing his daughter do everything he was doing when he was younger. It's nice to see him get vulnerable and admit that he's afraid. Like I said, I love when artists puts their emotions into their music and reminds us that they're human. It's more to life than shaking ass and shooting ops. The next song, Back to Me, I wasn't feeling at first, but it really grew on me. I didn't like Kanye's verse at first, but it grew on me. I just didn't like that he kept saying that whole big titty women don't fall out the sky thing over and over again. Ever since Yeezus, he's been doing this thing where he'll say a line and then he repeats it over and over again, and it's so annoying to me. Like, he did that a lot on The Life of Pablo. Freddie Gibbs' verse on this song was so good, it just pisses me off that I gotta listen to Kanye saying the same thing over and over again just to get to his part. Turn my bird bitch into an X like I'm Elon. Freddie was rapping his ass off on this verse, and I wouldn't be mad if we got an EP or an album with Freddie Gibbs rapping, produced entirely by Kanye. I'm just saying. I feel like I've praised this album a lot so far. This might be where I piss some people off. The next few tracks, Hood Rat, Do It, Paperwork, garbage. This is where the album starts to lose me. You look like a slice of hallelujah. I got a nice whip. I hope we can be on the same accord. Kanye's verse on Hood Rat was terrible, and that damn Hood Rat sample or whatever that is in the background was so goddamn annoying. Hood Rat, Hood Rat, Hood Rat. Do It with YG was terrible. I don't like the beat. I don't like the verses. The only good part of this song was the Juvenile sample, but that's kind of tugging at the nostalgia strings. Like, it gave me flashbacks to when I was in high school, because I remember when that song would come on when I was in the teen clubs, and that hunger came over me. Yeah. Paperwork might be the worst song in this album. Like, Ty Dolla Ign sounded good, but what the hell was Kanye doing? Like, this song went 2 Yeezus, and I hate that album. So we get 3 garbage songs in a row, And then we get Burn. I don't know if you would consider this an interlude, but this was such a beautiful song, and it pisses me off because artists do this so much today. They make these amazing songs and then they be under 2 minutes. Kanye sounded great, Ty sounded great, the beat sounded great. This kind of reminded me of No More Parties in LA. That's the Kanye I like. And then we get F-Song with Playboi Carti, and he's so fucking garbage. Like, I genuinely don't get why people like him. He's one of the only rappers I would say is worse than Lil Yachty. And that nigga stinks too. I like Ty Dolla on this, I like the beat on this, but that's probably it. Like, Kanye was doing this weird chipmunk voice for some reason, and even Travis Scott didn't sound good. This was a miss for me. The next song, Vultures, was just okay to me. I love when athletes catch random strays, like Rudy Gobert caught one on this. I can't stand that nigga, so that made me laugh. I don't know much about Bump J, but I thought he was pretty good on this. I like Lil Durk, but I would have been cool if somebody would have just took his verse off. Kanye's back talking about Jewish people, saying anti-Semitic, I just smashed a Jewish chick. It's kind of like Dave Chappelle with the transgender jokes, like, bro, we get it. And then Ty Dolla came in like that wizard nigga off Lord of the Rings. Like, he killed his part of the song. Like, I swear my furniture started floating when his part came in. And then we get the next song, Carnival, and just when I thought Playboi Carti couldn't get any worse, they went and got Rich the Kid. Ty Dolla was great again, but I don't know what Kanye was doing. He started talking about R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, P. Diddy. If he would have said Russell Simmons' name, it would have been like the Avengers, the Predators. But yeah, this song sucks, and I wish Travis Scott was on this song because I feel like he would have fit this beat perfectly. The next song, Beg for Forgiveness, they got Chris Brown on here sounding like Giveon for some reason. I'm being dead serious. I really thought this was Giveon the first few times I listened to it. Actually, until I went on rapgenius.com and I saw that it was Chris Brown because the versions don't have any features listed. But this is one of those songs that I don't think is bad. I just don't think I'm gonna ever go out of my way to listen to it again. Kind of just like with Carnival, I feel like this is one of those songs that's gonna sound really good live. It's not really much to say about the next song, Good Don't Die. I love this song. This is one of those songs you throw on a 3 a.m. late night drive. Love this. The next track, Problematic, was almost a 10 out of 10 song for me until Kanye said, if every room got a different chick, do that make me a pro-niggamist? I'm being dead serious. This might be one of the worst things I've ever heard in my life. And what pisses me off even more is that I'm sure this song was played for dozens of highly respected people in the industry, and they probably just sat in the studio and was like, yeah. Joking aside, outside of that bar, I thought Kanye sounded great. I thought Ty sounded great. I thought the beat was great. Just a really good song. And then we get the last song on the album called King. I like the message. I don't like the execution. I wasn't really a big fan of the beat. Like, I was rocking with Kanye's verse until he started doing that high-pitched voice for some reason. But regardless, the message of this song stands. For me, I do think Kanye is bipolar. I do think he's crazy. I do think he's anti-Semitic. At some points, I'll even say he's the C word. I do think he's an idiot. But at the end of the day, he's a genius. Even with his ignorance, even with his stupidity, we can't ignore and erase everything he's done for music. Whether you like him or not, he's one of the most influential people on the planet. And I'm not even talking about just in music. He had people walking around looking like dumbasses from The Walking Dead. Love him or hate him, he's one of the greatest hip hop artists of all time. He's one of the greatest music, not just rap, music producers of all time. In 20 plus years in his career, he's still able to have his foot on the culture and dictate what's cool and what's not cool. So yeah, he's right. He's the king. Or at least a king. My top 5 tracks would be Stars, Back to Me, Burn, Good Don't Die, and Problematic. But overall, a very solid project, and I believe this duo is going to make another album. This is called Vultures 1, and I feel like on social media I heard a bunch of songs that wasn't on this album. Like, they had a whole Backstreet Boys thing, wasn't on here. But knowing Kanye, those songs just never coming out. I haven't been a Kanye fan for the last few years, but this album definitely got my attention back. Like, I did like Kids See Ghosts. I feel like I'm the only person on the planet that liked that Gay album, the 7-track album he did. But Donda and those Christian gospel albums he was doing, garbage. Like, I'm so glad Kanye is back to just talking about hoes and cursing like normal. Shout out to Jesus. But thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new here. We talk about a bunch of different things on this channel. What are your thoughts on this album? Did you like it? Did you hate it? If you clicked on this album, I'm going to assume that you haven't canceled him. So do you just ignore all the stupid things he does? Let me know in the comment section below. Love you guys. Tell someone you love them. Until next time, see you in the next life.